What's happening, guys? I wanted to refer to something I put in my book, The Closer's Radar, and that's what we do in one thing, we do in everything. So it's like the congruency thing, right? I know it's like kind of really been kind of like swung like the great axe around sales coaching, but I had a beautiful observation of it. Now, there's a guy called Jean-Paul Sartre, and he wrote a book called No Exit, or it was a play. And it's basically it's very, very deep and existential. But when I did my studies, I kind of read into it that we look at other people as being the problem and not ourselves. And for the longest of time, decades, for me, it was like the other people are the problem. And then you begin to realize, when life takes its toll on you, that really the majority of the time you're the problem, right? So anyway, I had two glaring examples. I was speaking to a guy. He's an amazing guy. I've worked with him previously, and we were discussing kind of his sales, and he said I keep getting to think about it. And he said I'm really searching for where I think about it in my life, because the people in front of us essentially are a mirror. I know that sounds pretty deep, and if you're at a place where you feel that way, it's very liberating. But anyways, where do I think about things? Where do I procrastinate in my own life? Because it's showing up my calls, and that's so relevant, because when a prospect says something to you, the filter that it's interpreted through is you. It's your value system that's saying, well, this person's saying this, it must mean this. So if this person's wanting to think about it, yes, it could be a process thing, and they're just looking for a smoke screen because they don't believe you can get them where they're looking to go. But at the same time, we've got to be wary that it's our filter that dictates the meaning that we give to the responses people give. So I know that's quite deep. But then I was working with, had a sales call with another rep or business owner, and we did an audit, and it was they got a terrible no-show rate, and their business is absolutely suffering because people are no-showing on them. And it's okay, well, let's do something about it. Let's work out what's going on in your business, and let's see what we can ratchet up so it doesn't happen anymore. Guess what? They no-showed their first appointment. And it's not a case of life happened to them, they got sucked into a vortex and never to be seen again, because I followed up with them and they read the message and they never replied. So what does that say about life being a mirror and the paradigms that we operate in? Well, we've got one rep who's saying, I'm the problem, I'm getting to think about it, so where am I procrastinating? And then somebody who is no-showing and not having those conversations and not being honest with themselves or the person that they're potentially dealing with, they're getting people not showing up to their business. Yes, so I suppose what I'm trying to say here is, yes, it could be a thing whereby you're not communicating your message well enough through different aspects of your delivery and process and whatnot. But often, the main problem, why we get problems in life and sales, and a capacity to not sell people, but bring people through into our ecosystem and implement and into our fulfillment, is because we are the problem ourselves. We're creating the objection because we can't see through our own paradigm. So ask yourself, what's the biggest objection that you're getting? And if it's fear, then what are you maybe not doing in your life confronting your fears? Because here's the thing is that as well, and this has been well documented in sales coaching, is that sales is leadership. And if you can't challenge yourself to push yourself beyond your limits, whatever they are, it doesn't mean go and climb an Everest. It could be anything. That life's a mirror, it's holding up to you. So if you can't challenge yourself, when it comes to them bottling it on the call, are you going to be able to really challenge them and bring them forward through it because you've had that challenge in your life? Yeah, so have a little think about that today, guys. What are the main objections you're getting? And then can you say like, oh no, my process stinks? That's fine. But if it's a leadership thing, if it's a paradigm thing, like what do you need to do to maybe change things in the way that you operate, so that you can actually have different conversations, have more positive conversations, and see what another person's saying in a different light, so that you can get a better outcome.